You're now listening to Mushroom Man FM, where we play nothing but Invoked, Dogmatica, and Shadows. This ain't
Alright,
your Yugi
welcome
Boomer
back, guys, to
station.
the Branded Boys. I hope that's the for me.
Can you please confirm whether or not it is?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Alright, welcome back, guys. It's episode
Something.
7.
7?
Surely
Seven.
we have not churned out 7 of these things.
Oh, I think we have.
How?
How do we have this much
Pre-
content?
Pre-YCS, post-YCS. This one, Kieran, Flynn, episode 1, 2, 3.
How many emails do you get from YouTube begging you to take these down?
I actually got. Do you remember when Magic had those people that the Pinkertons that sent an early copy of a card game
That's right.
to someone else's house, and they got a hired group of thugs to go over and be like, "Can we have those cards back, please?"
Yeah, they full hired like a mafia group to go after them.
Yeah, that's what Inscription's like half based on.
The long arm of the TCG. I love it.
So
An
fucking
army about to come
stupid.
break our kneecaps.
Welcome back, guys. We have a special guest today. It's
Anna, hello.
yay! Woo!
Back.
Whoa! Why'd you have to dox yourself? Oh, back! Sorry, back.
Back by some demand.
Back by demand. By Burnsy's demand. I had something else I was going to say, but now I can't think of it. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well.
Alive, testing, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, crying at Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, same old.
We recently competed in the Queensland State Championship yesterday.
That is true.
Which was an excellent event. So,
Could you tell me how you guys did?
I dropped after round 4. Honestly, it was a bit of a long day, and I was playing Branded. Did pretty well overall, but I was pretty tired after round 4. And well, I won overall because I pulled a QCR out of my backs.
True.
It's true. The shine is always good to see. Yes, my performance was probably not as good as the actual gameplay itself deserved, but I was not doing the greatest anyway, so I'm really more so just proud of the actual, like, what I did cook, because I actually showed up with Yubel, so like the actual like new deck with all of those new cards. I very much like that deck, and it's definitely going to be a deck I play going forward. On the plus side, it has a very good Tenpai matchup, because my first rounds 1 and 2 were Tenpai. That was a very fun time.
It's hard to believe that Tenpai have been so popular, right? Like it's more of the fact that I didn't think that the originals were going to be any good, but now that the new wave has come out of like stuff that hasn't been released yet in the OCG, I'm still kind of surprised that it is seeing play.
Every single Tenpai list I saw had 25 non-engine slots,
I see.
and every card in the deck is essentially a 1-card combo. Plus, their field spell says that you cannot hand trap them in main phase 1.
It's
So-
yeah.
They're resolving their effects. It's it doesn't surprise me at all that it's a good deck. It's quite fun.
Okay. Well, we do have a theme for this this episode. Unfortunately, Brock couldn't join us. He's actually busy off in Guam. He's fighting laser dolphins. So everyone, please send your best wishes to him. Hopefully,
Lord knows they need it.
the Lord knows they need it. Today we've got a special themed episode. It's about Reddit, everyone's favorite. I want to say social media. It is a social media.
It is a social media, but I feel like it's very, I want to say niche social media for certain people. It's very Gen Z. It's
I
like
want
a
to say it's like
filter for all the scum of the internet.
Like, you're not really going to find your mums and dads
But
on
it's not
Reddit.
4chan.
You'll find them on Facebook, but you're going to find, like, the young people on...
I want to classify it as like a forum posting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a
I think it's
lot
more
of
of a
American
forum,
posting. and
a
lot
social
of,
forum media.
Yeah.
All right, let's just jump into it. I've got a couple of them. They're gonna ramp up into more unhinged one as we go.
Righto.
Just a quick thing. There was a story that unfortunately got deleted when I went back and got it. So from now on, I'm gonna screenshot the stories and not just save them on Reddit.
Must
but-
have been a really spicy one.
Well,
If you can mention what it was.
I remember what it was. It was from r/no stupid questions, and it was. I don't think I am, but am I being cheated on? Everyone else says so. And so the story is, a guy is white, his wife is white, they have a baby, and the son is black. So obviously everyone in the families are telling him that something happened, obviously. And so he goes on to talk about it, and then he goes, but I never understood it. When babies are born, aren't they all white? And I was like, oh, this is
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
the mechanics of childbirth is something that
this is amazing.
it's very skill intensive.
Someone, all the comments were like, hey brother. Hey brother.
Oh no.
So we've got a couple here. We've got obviously r/relationship advice, r/Am I the Arsehole. No Stupid Questions is one of my favorite ones because sometimes these can either be really good questions or like, dude, you should have Googled this.
Yeah.
Now you're getting ridiculed by morons on the internet. So we've got a kind of a dual one here for the first two. Am I the arsehole for being upset with my girlfriend after I felt sick during sex?
All right. That was cute. That was a good little synchronization.
You guys should date or something. I don't know, just a thought.
Maybe we should, yeah.
We should make a post on relationship advice. Hey, should we date? No context.
No.
So we date in the subtext. We both play Yu-Gi-Oh.
If we get an odd number of upvotes, it's a yes. If it's an even, it's no.
Fucking picking daisies.
Yeah.
All right. This is probably so stupid and petty, but I made this because I just need to vent. So I am a 24 male and my girlfriend 20 female. We're in
Very curious to see how long they've been dating.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've been dating for
Oh, dear.
5 years.
Oh.
Actually-
No.
Oh, no. Buddy, no.
We're in the middle of having sex and I suddenly got this terrible stomach cramp. The guy. I told her I was not feeling well and she was kind of almost annoyed. And so I went to go into the bathroom to try and get out whatever gas or pain I had. And I said, I'm sorry, I'll be right back. I don't know what the fuck was happening to me, honestly. But basically, I just felt like I had this terrible pinch in my stomach. After about 20 minutes of being in there, hurled over the toilet and sweating, I was kind of thinking like, damn, it'd be nice if my girlfriend came in here to make sure I was okay. Which yeah.
Like, fair enough, I guess. Or you could just be in there for really, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I just sat there in pain until the stomach pain eventually eased up a bit. I drank some water and confused by what was going on with me, but also a little thrown off that my girlfriend didn't seem to care. So I got back into our room and she's laying there out of breath with her vibrator and just looks up at me and says, I just came 3 times. Now I understand that I interrupted the sex and maybe blue-balled her or whatever, but I was just so hurt that she was uncaring and just stayed there and self-pleasured herself while I was in pain. She brought it up and then she got all defensive and said I was being selfish. Am I the arsehole?
Broadly? No.
Broadly, but getting more intricate. Because I'm on the side that like, she probably should have went in there.
It depends.
Okay, it depends on. Alright, so if you had like food poisoning, right? And you know, you're having sex. And then you're like, oh shit, that's not a fart.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'll be gone for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure, like, that's the thing. It wasn't elaborated on where he was going other than the fact he was going to the bathroom.
So you're telling me that if Burnsy, you know, you're sitting there and you're playing card games together, right?
Right.
Burnsy goes, oh, I'll have to be back in a bit. Goes to the toilet. You can hear him go, oh. Comes back 15 minutes later.
Come back 15 minutes later and she's been doing test hands for a
She's
while.
been doing test hands. She did 3 test hands. She's out of breath. You're not gonna go up to Burnsy and be like, you okay, dude?
If I was in that situation, and I pardon myself because I think it's, you know, something digested, the last thing I want, admittedly, is
Someone
my
coming
significant
in.
other coming in and being like, hey, yo, what's up? But like, I don't know, a knock on the door would have been okay. And it's a bit like, maybe not the most caring partner, but like, I
You
don't
know, you like excuse yourself halfway through. Like, the thing is, if I did that, for example, I wouldn't want anyone coming in, no matter if I'm hurling my brains out, because, you know, I explain that to my partner.
Really? That is so interesting. Half the comments are like that, and the other half are more on the angle that I'm going for, which is like, well, they're your partner. You know, it would be nice, but that really, it's obviously like, what do you like more in your partner? Is there like, you know, time spent together, physical touch, thoughtful gestures? For me, I would actually be on the other side. I would appreciate that. But it really is half and half in the comments.
It really depends on your partner, I think, and the level of like communication that the both of you had.
For
Yeah.
sure. It's a difference of belief, potentially. Like,
Yeah.
rather than anything.
Because if I saw Bamsy go green or something, be like, oh, I'll be back, like visibly about to spew, you know, I would probably be like checking up on him, right?
I reckon the differences are like, you are right.
Yeah.
But I think it is more of like,
I think the response from her afterwards being
The response from her afterwards is like,
quite self-centered.
what the
and-
fuck?
Yeah, it's quite rude, honestly, and disrespectful.
It's worth noting that we do not know how he approached it.
Yeah.
If he flew off the handle, so to speak, I can understand her reaction being like, oh, you're being so selfish, you know, like, because in her head, maybe it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as chaotic or any, like, I don't think it's a problem, so to speak. I just think it's just two different people with two different opinions.
I think just 2 levels of comfort.
Yeah.
It's just definitely not something to go to Reddit about, I don't think, honestly.
Yeah.
Reddit's not going to give you a clear answer.
I mean, Reddit's not going to give you a good answer most of the time. This has got 1,800 comments, and I shit you not, it's like 900 yes, 900 no. It's like so like 50-50.
50-50, wow.
I reckon if it was like my wife or my fiance didn't check up on me, then I would be annoyed. But it's like a girlfriend. It never explains like how long they've been dating.
It's true.
Hopefully not 5 years.
It's like, oh, they've been together 6 months, so they don't really know each other, and they met off Tinder. Like, yeah, you know, then that would probably be like you'd not that along that level of comfort. But if you know, it's like, you know, soon to be fiance type thing, then you'd be like, yeah, you probably should go check on it if he didn't seem to be okay.
And honestly, as well, exact same thing. If they are very, very recent in terms of being in a couple, my immediate thought in that situation is that you're not really sure how to act or how to approach certain social situations. For all we know, this is the first any kind of negativity that they have ever had. It's true. So therefore, there's no precedent for either one to march with. I'm still very much on the position that there is no problem here on the girl's part. I think it is a little bit selfish to, you know, do all of that on your own with that, but I don't think that she thought he was in any kind of like serious pain. I just think, you know, honestly, with most, and I didn't really want to broach this too much, in most intimate encounters, if you're not very familiar with the person, if the guy suddenly excuses himself, it's not because he's having indigestion. I've got to be brutally honest. Like that, I'm quite sure that that's what she thought was going on.
I would even say that it's kind of... I think it's also quite telling that he immediately went out and was just like, during facing the demons in his stomach, he was like, fuck, why is my girlfriend not helping me?
Yeah, and it's like, what, are you expecting your mother?
Yeah, right.
I'd like to know what he thought the girl could do.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
Like, that's
babe,
a-
I'm gonna like stroke your hair.
I-
hold your hair back.
I reckon it's just like a different level of comfort. Like,
Yeah.
I reckon they might face some hardships either down the line if they don't communicate this. And like, hey, I really want you there. And she's like, oh, I didn't know. Or, well, I don't want to be near you. Yeah. So, I think it is just so funny that the comments are so split.
Yeah. Well, because like again, there's not a lot of context and there's not a lot of information between the two of them. And while you know, it's not obviously bias is a thing as well. We don't know exactly what he said to her in the moments. Oh yeah, I'm off to go throw up.
I'm off to go throw up, guys. See you
But
later.
then obviously you'd be concerned and stop and be like, okay, you know, let me know if you need anything. You know, I'll be outside the door if you want me to come in. Just let me know, or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, if this was a script, a director would have so much leeway to see how serious or how comedic you could take this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I know. So not the arsehole. I don't think it's the arsehole. I don't think either of them
I
are the
don't think
arsehole.
either of them.
I think that this podcast is split 50-50.
Wow.
Crazy.
You're gonna have to split me in half.
Which is interesting because there's 3 of us right now.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Brock.
He would not understand what the concept of sex is, so he would be lost from the beginning.
It's fucked up.
I mean,
So
I had to explain to him what the prostate was earlier
Oh.
in a previous episode.
So I know I said that later and later on the stories we get more disheveled.
Right.
I think this is the second craziest one we have,
Alright.
In total of all the podcast
In, like-
episodes?
or maybe third in total.
Oh, okay.
Because last podcast that wasn't out yet, we had like a 35-minute discussion on something.
Alright.
So I know I was talking about sex and like describing it before. This is genuinely a trigger warning.
Okay.
So if you are
Grade 4?
squeamish, if you are just squeamish,
Squeamish for.
bodily fluids
Okay.
and peer pressure.
Okay.
Skip 15 minutes into the video.
Yeah.
It begins like, so my friend is a runic stun player.
I took a tire iron and I squeezed out his thorax. Yeah, trigger warning including SA and bodily fluids.
Yeah, really buried the lead on that one.
Alright.
So this happened 2 nights. It isn't as bad as you think it is.
Alright, now
It's
go on.
bad, but in a different way.
Okay.
So
Sure.
this happened 2 nights ago, and I've been wanting to die of embarrassment ever since. So my boyfriend woke me up in the middle of the night / morning for sex. It was like 4 a.m. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but my gag reflex is actually much worse in the morning. You can probably see where this is headed. Can you guys see where this is headed?
Sort of.
Cool. He starts guiding me there, and I didn't really want to, but he was pretty adamant on it. I eventually gave in, and as I'm doing my thing down there, he's pushing my head a lot. I told him to stop pushing so much, but he didn't. And one ill-timed head push made me vomit all over him, and his peen, and the bed.
Right.
His peen.
Okay, yes.
Is that actually written there? Is like, yeah.
All over him, full stop.
Okay.
And his peen, full stop. And the bed, full stop.
Right. That's generally what happens when you throw up, but yeah.
Why are you talking about this like my former English teacher, breaking down the sentence structure piece by piece?
And his
I
peen.
guess the object, the peen, and the subject, the bed.
Because it's dramatic, you know, there are more full stops than there fucking need to be.
Do you think the author put in the vomit there because he was trying to talk about, like, I'm gonna stop?
Do you think vomit is an allegory for the social injustice that we face in America?
As it is in every piece of media, yes, continue.
Every time I summon Eldritch, I think of police brutality.
As God intended, please continue.
I immediately started sobbing, and I was so embarrassed and just overwhelmed. I have no idea why that happened. I've never even felt like it was gonna vomit. I've never felt like I was ever gonna vomit before. I didn't have a chance to stop. I felt horrible and immediately apologized, to which he responded by pushing me away from him.
Jeez.
He was so mad, which I kind of understand getting vomited on, but he did absolutely nothing to make me feel better. I was in the bathroom for like 20 minutes debating if I was gonna die of embarrassment or not. I don't know how it happened. When I came back to bed, he had cleaned up in the other bathroom, just went back to bed without saying anything. I cried for a bit again, and the next morning he told me he was really disgusted. I said, yeah, me too, and apologized again for whatever that was. He rolled his eyes and has now been reminding me how disgusting it was, but I've already apologized to him for it. I feel like he's just doing too much at this point. I told him to leave me alone about it, and he told me I was being the asshole in this whole situation. Am I really?
No, absolutely
No.
not.
I think we're all fairly on the same side that he's just an awful person.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Gross, man.
There's absolutely no like caring instinct in that man whatsoever.
Yeah, and even like the implication of consent being like, oh yeah, wake up in the morning. If your partner's not really into it, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna force them and like push their head down and stuff.
That's a problem.
That's genuinely
That's a problem.
A problem, and B, you should not be surprised if you're doing that.
Yeah, guess what?
They're
You got
gonna
your
throw up.
comeuppance.
Yeah, you know,
Now your peen is full of carrots and
yeah.
fluid.
If you
I don't really want to picture that, but you know, that's fine.
Peen.
Peen
Love
is a very strong word. Can I just say that? It was immediately what grabbed me there.
Love that they said peen. But yeah, you're not the asshole. I think everyone in here is like,
Yeah.
you should get a boyfriend
You
that
should,
actually cares.
you should leave,
and communicates.
probably, because
Fairly
it's not
unanimous.
very caring and, you know.
If you did want to leave before, you should definitely leave after that.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
You know, have someone who treats you with respect with these sorts of things. These things happen.
That's honestly, yeah, and very, very like selfish kind of traits from
Yeah.
the guy. Like not even selfish, like self-absorbed. Like
Yeah.
in the moment,
It's like,
not giving any kind of
yeah.
comfort. Afterwards, putting it entirely on her when she's trying to express her own feelings. He's then pinning it on her, saying she's being terrible. In what part of it is her doing something involuntary and then apologizing for it, being an asshole?
Yeah.
I think the appropriate question is, should I go to court over this? Is probably... Is this sexual assault or full-blown, you know?
I mean, it's not. It's okay.
Okay, we could. The withdrawal of consent. So it could be like she didn't really talk about. She said she didn't. She was not. She didn't really want to do it, but he was adamant. It depends on what he was doing for Adamant. It was like you wake up in the morning and suddenly your boyfriend like grabs your head and pushes you down.
It's different.
That's different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I would look. I'm by no means an expert. I would not class it as sexual assault, in my opinion, for the simple fact that the way she talks about it says that she's not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I would also say that the way that she talks about it is very, she believes it's her own fault, is the other thing. So when people do that, they generally leave out other parts of the story.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, I apologize. Like, I think I'm in the wrong in that he was very adamant, and so like it depends on how adamant he was.
It's so crazy. I mean, the first comments are just blocks of red flags.
Yeah.
Second of all is blocks of people saying he assaulted you, and third of all is people commenting under that, and like he didn't even feel bad too, which is such a kick in the nuts. Like, fucking hell.
We're all fairly agreed that he's a bad person. However,
Just how bad?
yeah, well, look, like we've said, the way that she talks about it, at least to me, it sort of says, I'm not super keen, but that doesn't mean she's saying no at the same time. You can have intimate encounters without being entirely into it, because you're like, look, I don't really want to do this, but I know that you'll like it, and I'm not thoroughly against it. But that's sort of how it read to me anyway. I don't want to put any kind of presumption on it. I wouldn't say it's full-blown SA or anything.
It's so hard, but if I was the girl in the situation, I mean,
Because it depends on how adamant you are, because by the sounds of it, she seems quite intimidated by him to be like, oh, it's your fault that I threw up on you. But no, she kept apologizing to him over and over. It could have been a sense of she felt like she could not withdraw consent either.
The part that I didn't really like was the head thing.
yeah.
Because that's just a comfort and ability to breathe kind of thing. Like,
and it's like if you're like doing it for your own self thing and like pushing her head down, especially in the morning, and if she doesn't seem quite into it, a reasonable person probably would have picked up on that. So,
I mean, he's a moron and a weirdo, and I in my brain am one step away from, taking it to a legal institute.
it's true. Yeah.
I'd like so slightly. Definitely the arsehole, definitely weird. You should break up with him. But like so close to that other.
Yeah, I think 50-50 on it depends on what actually occurred.
Yeah. Maybe let's go for a lighthearted one, eh?
Yeah.
No stupid questions. Why does my wife not want me in the gym?
Okay.
I'm married for almost 4 years. I work from home, faithful husband. When I got a gym membership, my wife is not happy about it. My wife is beautiful, and I would not object if she wanted to go to the gym with me. So I suppose my question is, why would she not feel the same for me? She gets jealous for whatever reason other than taking her with me.
That has no context whatsoever.
There's not a lot of information to proceed on this one, honestly. Like, my mind immediately jumped to two things. Either one, she thinks that he's like gonna go and flirt with other women, or two, she's like into a particular body type. But either one, there's not enough information to diagnose either one.
Well, it's crazy because all the comments are like, why don't you talk about this with your wife?
Yeah, literally. Why don't you actually
You
talk
just-
about it with your wife?
You just summed up Reddit.
Yeah.
Why don't you just talk about it?
So I was thinking to myself before this, I was like, oh, it could be like she's jealous. Is there like some secret stalker involved? And I'm like,
There's not enough information. Go talk to your wife about
talk
it.
to your
Seriously.
fucking wife, dog. Just go talk to your wife.
This is where I stand with like most of these things that we talk about from Reddit. It's like,
There's not enough information to make a conclusive,
Yeah.
argument, because it's always going to be biased from one person's side, whether it's reliable or unreliable, points of view and things that have been, it's not always going to be completely objective. So we don't know the other person's story,
Well, it's so funny to have this one because half the comments before when this first got posted, people were theorizing, but then after a while, people were just like, just go fucking talk to her.
Yeah,
Like, why are you on
'cause
Reddit, man?
Like, on the opposite hand, it could be, oh, my husband's going to the gym straight after work and not coming home until 10 o'clock at night. I don't have any help with our newborn baby.
Yeah.
He just goes straight to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then, yes, you would be the asshole, but we don't know any context whatsoever.
It's.
Go talk to your wife.
I reckon this guy's the same guy that's like, he would do something and then not understand how it's so destructive. Even though it's like, it's not the fact that he did something, it's the fact that he clearly had no intentions of talking to his wife.
Yeah, and it's like, well, it depends on like what type of person you are. You could just be introverted and afraid of asking the difficult questions, or you could just be like totally stupid and blind, and be like, why does she not want me to go to the gym?
I think that's a difference.
Yeah, like you don't know. We don't know based on what this person is saying.
Yeah. Let's go back into the actual bad ones. Whoa, this one's a long one, so strap in.
Alright.
This is true off my chest. My fiance is worth $57 million
Oh.
and belittles my income and accomplishments since we have gotten engaged.
Already a red flag.
Oh dear.
Crimson.
I believe I've seen this one before, but go on.
I wasn't sure where to post this on Reddit, so this is a throwaway, blah, 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 blah. When I was 23 years old...
Man or woman, by the way, who's writing this post?
Good question. I don't think it says. Holy shit, it doesn't say.
That's good. Objective.
Oh, okay,
Objective. Go ahead.
Yeah, hang on. I think it will tell us in the story. I just can't see the male-female thing.
Okay.
When I was 23 years old, I met my fiance, who was 38 when I met.
Oh god.
He is 38. The fiance who's posting this is 23.
Oh god. Alright, continue.
I have some questions about the orientation.
So me, female 23, met my fiance who was 38 when I met him, male.
Right.
When I met him, I was making, oh actually that could be gay, I don't know. I met him when I was making $200,000 a year, which is already crazy
That's
if
a
they're
lot
in
of money
America.
already, yeah, especially most posters are American, so
Is the person who's writing this the person whose accomplishments got belittled?
yes.
Yes.
Please continue. I'm already forming opinions.
Holy shit, this is good. When I met him, I was making $200,000 a year, and I was also worth $1.3 million all up, as I inherited my grandpa's house when he had passed. 3 years later, I'm 26. I make $420,000 a year.
Shit, wow.
Plus have a bunch of stock that needs to vest. Okay, so already I hate both of these people because they're rich.
Yeah.
Why do they get money and I don't? My fiance is 41. We got engaged 6 months ago. Have been wedding planning. It's been great. Our relationship has always been so easy. Always been a great fit. Yes, I was hesitant at first because we have a 15-year age gap.
Yeah.
But he didn't have kids. He has never been married or engaged before. He spent his late 20s and 30s building 2 companies. Just sold the last one this year. But here's where we ran into issues. I know my fiance has done well. I've never been in it for the money, as I make good money and inherited some money as well. But now that we're getting married soon, I found out he's actually worth over $57 million. I thought it was way less. He asked me for a prenup, and I honestly just don't believe in them. We have been going back and forth for a couple of weeks, and tonight we got into a fight about it. Should I just sign one? Am I being dumb over nothing? Another thing that made me angry is he said once we get married, I just need to stop working. He said there's no point of working, that my money is useless to us, that you don't make a lot, and that you should focus on behaving and instructing our kids, and just be a happy stay-at-home mom.
I feel like there's a lot of things missing from this story.
I mean, it paints a pretty clear...
It paints a pretty clear, you are not the asshole, but your fiance absolutely is.
Well, we have another 2 paragraphs.
Oh, okay.
Another 2 slides. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
8
go-
paragraphs.
Yeah, yes.
I am 26 years old. I'm making $420,000 a year. I'm pretty hurt by what he said. I've gotten a lot of slack for being with someone so much older from my family and friends. I never let it get to me, but in a way now it is. He's so much ahead of me in life in terms of money and more. My income and whatever I do will not be enough for him. He said, whatever I make, it doesn't really matter. We're getting married. That's chump change to him, basically. I honestly have never seen this side of him, but as we get closer to our wedding date, more and more of this comes out. He even told me tonight, after I came back from a work trip, that I just need to relax at home so I can make him his babies. That my income is worthless compared to what we have. And that made me cry. I haven't cried in a long time.
Oh God, run.
And then, yeah, the rest of this is just venting about how much of a dick he is. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, run. Run, honey.
So crazy.
fuck.
Like, fuck, I hate when that shit happens. There was another story that I think I have lined up that's like, when me and my fiance were getting ready for our wedding, for the longest time we had both said that I don't want to change my last name, that we don't want kids. And then when I went to sign the marriage certificate, he had his thumb placed over my name. And when I got him to finally move it, it revealed that he had tried to sign the document that said that she would take her last name.
His last name. Yeah.
So that her would take his last name. And then like, you know, obviously she called it off right then and there.
Yeah,
during the wedding. And was then just like talking to him. And then he had done a full 180 and was like, but I thought you would have changed your mind about kids.
I hate that. I think that you get to such a pinnacle in your relationship for someone to turn around and hope you'd be different and think about things differently once you got married.
Yeah, what a fucking stupid thing.
You guys have been dating for probably how long? Like, and you don't sit there in your relationship and expect the person to change magically once a ring is on your finger.
I can't imagine sitting there and being like, yeah, I reckon in 5 years this opinion will change. And I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, you know, circumstances can change, sure. People's opinions can change, but it's not like you should be hoping for that for your partner.
So fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up.
Do you have anything to say?
No, I mean, again, as I was going to say before, I think that the issue with the prenup clearly has nothing to do with net worth or value or anything. It comes down to respect, and it comes down to a lack of it. The person who's worth 57 million clearly equates value of person to money and to the value of, like, you know, how much your assets are, not who you are as a person, because they have, you know, clearly completely ignored what the person does bring to the table in favor of a fantasy that they do have. It feels very, well, you know, I have X times more money than you, that means therefore
my opinion is worth more than yours. And
you said it.
It's weirdly common on Reddit. That is so strange to me.
It's the way I personally think that a lot of the things that are posted on Reddit are people coming to the realization that they're probably not in the best relationships and trying to seek advice from people elsewhere.
Yeah.
That I think it's disproportionately negative questions on am I the asshole asking these questions, because the majority of assholes who do something wrong, unless they're like, oh shit, I punched my boyfriend, am I the asshole, right? You know,
it's so very clearly like,
it's majority of it is you're not the asshole, but probably the other person is. That the people who do actually post in the asshole are either seeking self-validation or, you know, are somehow blind to it.
It is so interesting to realize that there is such a huge subsection of Reddit where it is people never communicating with their partner and not having the wisdom to realize what their partner is really about, to then going to Reddit after they've just begun to come to the realization. And even though they're not the arsehole, are either gaslighting themselves or being gaslit into thinking that they are. It is so weird that it is so common.
But it comes down to Reddit is subreddits. They're literally, like, you know, there's like r/like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? All they're going to talk about is Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not going to change to like Magic for some reason.
Yeah.
There's subsections of relationship advice, people looking for advice, you know. Abusive relationships, some people don't know when to leave.
Yeah.
Some people cannot leave. Some people don't see that they're being manipulated and gaslighted. To any other normal person, it probably would be the case. You know, I think a lot of that is seen in, like, am I the arsehole, right? You know, seeing the people who are getting gaslit about it, or people who are, you know, struggling with something, or trying at least, some people who are genuinely assholes seeking reparations, being like, how can I fix this?
Yeah. I think it is so, I mean, it is, set sample size. It is so eye-opening when you, obviously any story is eye-opening the more information you get across your life.
Yeah.
But it is so eye-opening to me when I'm reading these and I'm like, oh, I now understand how this happens to people.
Yeah.
Because before it would never have, like, happened to me.
Until it's happened to you, you probably wouldn't understand how how people get themselves into this situation in the first place.
Yeah. It is so just like, oh, you've got to watch out for this.
Yeah.
People have these problems.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you as a young person seeing a 30 or 8-year-old person who's like, oh, you know, babe, you're so successful, you're doing so well, you know, we're such a good match and all that, and him suddenly turning around being like, I want you to be, you know, a surrogate mother essentially, and just doing all the motherly work because my opinion is worth more than yours because I make quote unquote considerably more money than you.
Which is
which is awful. And you can obviously see how people get blindsided by this, because at that point you're like, well, I'm about to get married. Like, what? Why is this happening?
Why has this all come crashing down?
Yeah.
And it's so like whatever advice you can give them, it doesn't matter, because it is so world crushing at that point.
Yeah.
Now, Burnsy, you've been saying this so patiently. I know that you've been wanting to actually come to the defense of the man and describe why you're an alpha male. Can't elaborate?
Can you give me a bit more than that about why you think I would think that?
You have, every time I see you, you always are bald, wearing those remaining glasses. Anytime you talk to Anna, you go, "Shut up, stupid! I make more money than you. Fuck you."
Listen. me being a Sigma does not preclude me agreeing
sorry,
with this guy.
Sigma.
I'm just tired of selfish people and people who are too in their own head. I've got to be honest. I'm not saying we need to tear down this segment, because I do actually like, the intellectual discussion we get from it. But the more we listen to it, the more I'm just a little bit sad that, it comes to this a lot of the time,
Yeah.
It's just, it affects me in a really, profound way when I see these people who clearly, well, I don't want to say clearly, because again, that's me assuming, but it feels like they don't really have enough of a good support network in their friends or family or anything to say, hey, you need to get out, you need to take care of yourself. So they go onto the internet and say, hey, here's exactly what's going on.
What do I do?
Give me some kind of bolstering, give me something. Or tell me if I'm being crazy, because that, to me, it very heavily communicates that they are doubting their own feelings and whether or not they are being bad. I don't know. Just
Some people, people who do get into abusive relationships as well, oftentimes lose their entire support network because the abuser isolates them from friends, family. Like, she said that she lost friends and her family. She was being chastised for dating somebody who was so old and stuff.
Yeah.
And she probably thought, a great deal. Like, he's a lovely guy. He treats me so well and all that. We go on nice dates and blah blah blah. She doesn't see that. And her family probably tried many times to tell her. Now they're on the verge of getting married.
And now it's like, as a support
You can
people
still
in that
pull
network,
out and
it's
stuff,
like,
but she probably doesn't have anybody else to go to, because she's like, well, I lost family members and probably friends over this too.
that's the kind of story that you would take to a publishing agent, and they're like, well, we can't. There's no good bit about this. It never turns around for the main character. This is awful. No one wants to read this, and that's why it's so sad.
which is also very real, unfortunately. That's just the reality for a lot of people.
Wow, this episode is fucking down. I should have added some better
Can
ones.
you do something funny?
Yeah.
Do you have a funny story for us?
Might have the worst one here.
Now's the time for it.
r/confessions.
Oh dear.
I added Tabasco to Wendy's chili and used it to get second place at a chili cook-off. I know.
Oh.
It's fucked up. Tabasco sauce and chili. Can
we report this user?
In fact, there was an update. I've just been shot by the SWAT police. So
Typing this at his keyboard.
there's a picture.
Decorating the desktop.
It is actually a POV. The guy's taking a picture above his grave.
Messed up.
POV, I activated D-shifter.
Fuck!
I cannot go to the graveyard anymore.
When they resolve D-shifter and you are denied a Christian burial.
You were denied by God a good death.
Speaking to the priest at the cemetery. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do.
It's so fucked up. I'm trying
You get banished, but it's into space.
Bye.
Does it really count if you die on Earth to go to heaven?
Oh, true.
Yeah, is it out of bounds?
Okay, brevity forcibly injected. You may now continue making us sad.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get good ones, but they're all so fucked up.
No, you should go to the ones where they have "Am I the asshole?" but it's the person writing who's an asshole.
Do you have anything like that?
I just have a line, and I don't want to lose my praise.
Alright, go
I
on.
can't.
Keep going.
One more from r/confession.
Oh dear.
8 years ago, I caused a UFO panic.
I've got to be brutally honest. I thought that you ad-libbed the Tabasco one.
no, it's real.
You said one word, like, oh, that's real.
All the comments are like, work smarter, not harder. One college summer break 8 years ago, my friends and I were bored. We remembered a demonstration from a high school science class of a solar balloon. This was just a really thin black plastic bag you fill with air, seal, and then set out in the sun. The sun would heat the air in the black bag and the bag would become buoyant and float. We had the idea to find the cheapest, thinnest black plastic trash bags available and combine a bunch of them to make a huge balloon. We spent a few days driving around to Walmart and dollar stores trying different brands to find the thinnest possible plastic bag and thinnest tape which would work the best. Finally, we took a number of them, cut off the bottom ends, and taped them together into a huge balloon, which we filled up with a leaf blower and then tied the end. After sitting out in the sun for an hour and a half or so, we had done it. They include a picture of the friend with the buoyant balloon as I'm loading this up.
Not a phone in sight, just people living in the moment.
Just people living in the moment. It's a very long black balloon.
I was expecting like a big spherical thing. No, that's an alien.
That's mother. The flying black tapeworm has come. We had to mess around with it because the tape was sealing the bags a little weird, but we tried our best possible. Shortly after this, the balloon got away from us. This was disappointing, but we made another one and got funny looks from cars driving by, as then we were entertaining ourselves for a bit. Shortly after that, this new balloon met its demise, smacking into a tree, getting popped. Oh well, mission success anyway. A few years later, I happened across this news article. The balloon that got away had apparently blown into a town over and caused a huge UFO panic. People were calling 911 and local radio stations about it. Our boredom unintentionally created a huge UFO panic in central New Jersey.
That should be on that guy's resume.
That's the equivalent of like, what was your contribution to the internet, and people being like, yeah, I'm like the moderator for this, and this, you know.
So he posted the link below, and that's the same balloon.
That's a very distinctive looking balloon.
Mother, with a tapeworm. It has come.
It's a very, very long
It's a
boy.
Chinese dragon descending from the sky.
It's a Chinese dragon.
Lunar New Year, everybody.
Oh shit, it's City Walk. Wing wing.
No, I've got one. It's not a stupid question as per se, but it's an interesting one that I thought I'd ask you too. From r/no stupid questions. Do men just recognize good men? What kind of sorcery is this? I've been dating a guy for some time now, and his oldest friends have told me he's a good solid man despite his flaws. I agree, they've known him forever, and he's been a solid friend all these years. When my male friends met him for the first time, they said, he's a good one, hold on to him.
Sure, I know that.
The problem is there's only like 16 men in the world, so we all know each other.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of in our best, but there's like two that we don't like. There's like Gary and Chekhov. We don't like those guys, but the other 14 we kind of want to.
I think I could take a leaf, Putin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thinking,
He's a bit of an acquired taste.
quiet taste. I'm sorry, but I have to go back to the fucked up ones now.
Alright. We laughed enough to this time, it's time to go back.
We'll ease into it, alright? Am I the asshole for offering sex and then rejecting it because my boyfriend wanted to finish his game first?
No.
Alright, next one. So me and my boyfriend have been together since we were 20 for 7 years now. The sex has become less frequent, and that mostly has to do with my own sex drive becoming less and less. Lately, we've been talking about this a lot because it's really starting to frustrate him. The sex was down to about once a month at some point. We talked about it, and he explained that he only wants to have sex with me if I also wanted it 100%. So green flag.
Yeah.
This just doesn't happen very often for me. Yesterday, I was driving home from work, and I had the mindset to surprise him. So after dinner, I left the living room and got all dressed up. He rather likes lingerie, so I put on some stockings, high heels, mini skirt, and a corset. Fuck, and this just makes me gender dysphoric. I want to dress up in a corset.
Technically, you don't have to be a god to wear those things.
Yeah, I guess.
I know a place. It's fine.
Ronan, put up a picture of me in thighs.
Put up a picture of me in thighs.
Put up a picture of me in... Sorry, in leggings. I was going to say thigh-ings. Just leggings that only go up to the thighs.
Legless leggings.
I also have assless asses, if that works. And chapless chaps.
If you wear all of them together, it makes a full suit of outfit.
If you wear them all together, you might be slightly close to normal.
I have a sleeveless shirt and a shirtless sleeve.
What have I done? When I walked, she got dressed up and was excited that I was about to make him very happy. When I walked into the living room, he looked very happy and excited when he saw me, but explained that he just started a raid with his clan members on RuneScape. I don't know the exact name of the raid, but he always calls this the difficult spider lady for me, so I understand which one it is. He said that he didn't want to ruin the raid for his raid team members and told me it would take him about 10 to 15 minutes. I walked into the bedroom alone and a little sad because I felt like he chose his game over me, especially when I put in this much effort to create a nice evening for him and cater to his needs. I got cold and upset and I crawled into bed. When he wanted to join me 20 minutes later, I wasn't in the mood. I said I wasn't in the mood anymore, and he said that he lost his shop that night. I feel like I ruined his night, but I was just trying to make it better. God forbid men do anything. God, I just can't sit on the computer and play a couple of RuneScapes with the boys.
Damn, I gotta deal with the lady now?
Oh. I'm actually on the guy's side with this one, I'll be honest.
I think her reaction is quite overblown.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I did this one thing and now I'm upset. It's like, you've been together for 7 years, be a bit more mature about it, please.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I feel a little bit bad for her. Just to jump in, it's a little bit... I don't think that she... I think that she feels like she should be doing a little bit more, and it's just down to what she's feeling, and the dynamic between the two of them is, well, no, hey, we're only going to do it if you're feeling it. So it very much preaches the feeling of, hey, don't do anything you don't want to do. And, you know, that moment of vulnerability towards intimacy with like, hey, I feel like I'm disappointing my partner, let me put in some effort after all of this time, and it feels like it gets rejected. It's a very deeply personal reaction.
True.
I think it's very fair for her to feel a little bit, you know, awful, especially when you're putting everything on the line there. If you don't get your hand snapped off when you offered it out, it feels a little bit bad, you know? Like, and that's absolutely not going to put you in the mood, especially when intimacy is such a difficult thing for you.
I also agree with that as well, because he did say, if you're not feeling 100%, you know, don't do it. And she came home with the idea of like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, I want to do this. And then you're like, oh, I got to wait like 15, 10 minutes.
But wouldn't it go both ways?
It does go both ways, in the sense that I'm sure he's done things to accommodate her, being that, you know, you're only having intimacy once a month, and, you know, for some people that length of time is a deal breaker. Some people would like to have it more frequently, some people would like to have it less frequently. Dead Bedrooms is a very popular subreddit of the sense that when people get married and then they're like, oh, it just disappears. And for some people that's deal breakers, and they're usually like, yeah, talk about it.
They very yeah. Sorry, please go ahead.
Please talk about it.
Yeah. No, they very clearly like created this dynamic of we're not really going to be intimate unless the situation is perfect. 9 times out of 10, it's been coming from her when the situation isn't perfect. This is the one time where it's come from him, and even then it was like 10-15 minutes or whatever. But it's still like it's not particularly paradigm breaking. It is exactly how it's been going, just with the opposite end for a change. You know, he's not, like, nobody's being an asshole about it. I think she genuinely feels the way she's feeling. But as well, you know, like, I guess in his mind he's thinking, well, it's good for you, when it's like, you know, you're not feeling it, that's fine. In this current moment, I can't really do it, but I'll be right there.
Yeah.
You know, feelings of passion can come and go within that time. It's like, I don't think either of them are being particularly awful.
Yeah.
Now, just to get a bit personal here, you don't have to reveal too much. When you are feeling particularly in the mood, does it take you less or more than 15 minutes to decrease from that mood?
Well, a typical duel on Master Duel takes about 7 minutes. So.
Once I get super play, I'm out of that fucking mood.
I will admit I was like repeating that meme in my head to try and do it perfectly. Can you please repeat the question? Sorry.
Does it take you more or less than 15 minutes to get out of that mood? Why could she not have just waited 15 minutes?
The issue isn't, hey, the horny disappeared. The issue is, hey, I feel very undervalued.
Not 100% to go for this.
Well, she was crying her eyes out and everything. That's not really conducive to intimacy.
I think she was just cold and went into
She
bed.
felt cold and rejected almost, and
Yeah.
you get that. I personally think it's a little bit of an immature response
I think so
to
too.
rejection.
I think
being
it was
like,
immature.
well, I've rejected him so many times to being like this, and the one time he's like, I'm not feeling 100%, babe, let me finish this and then I'll come. It's like, it seems a bit immature personally.
It's
Because
not even that
you
he's.
guys have dated for 7 years. Like
Yeah.
the one time that he's like, babe, can you wait 15 minutes? I'm at RuneScape, or I'm in the bathroom having indigestion or something. You know?
Or I'm literally shitting my pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
My stance is just clearly she's feeling very vulnerable in that situation, and it's very much like, the way she keeps wording it, she's like, I'm going to make this a really great night for you, which implies that when they don't do it, it's not a great night for him, and she's aware of that. So I think she's very disappointed in herself, being like, oh, well, I ruined everything with how I'm feeling, and he's also, it's very easy to feel like moving forward, this is how it's going to be if it's like that most of the time anyway. I think that there's a lot of feelings in there that can take the place of the intimate thoughts, especially when it is such an emotionally charged situation.
I'm going to be devil's advocate here. I think that you're giving her the benefit of a doubt, even though you don't need to. In fact, I want to point out, or rather suggest, that I think she just might be insecure to a point where she is the arsehole.
I would say personally, no assholes here. That would be my response. You could sway it one way or the other. Again, there's not full context into regards to, his behavior in regards to it, or their relationship dynamic. From what it sounds like he's been quite considerate of her, and she's also been quite considerate of her own feelings, and being like, I'm going through like hormonal changes or something. Right? Who knows if they have kids or something as well, right? That was never mentioned, but it doesn't mean it's not there. She's also considerate of that and being like, oh, it's the one time that I can actually present myself to you. And him being like, oh, no, sorry. And then she's being like, oh, like I put effort into this and now I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, I don't feel 100% anymore to do this.
But that choice was made in like a split second.
Yeah.
It bothers me so much that she couldn't wait 15 minutes is what's really getting me.
Well, I don't think personally it's a problem in regards to him playing RuneScape or whatever it was, oh babe, sorry, I gotta finish my Kashtira combo, like, okay.
Okay, fuck off.
Alright, sorry babe, I'm playing Runic today.
Babe, I'm in the middle of a stun mirror match. Can you give me like 3 years?
Give me like 3 years, dude. Sorry, I'm playing Kashtira Mirror. No, not Kashtira, Telements.
Actually that's good then, because she would want to sit there and watch it, because that's like actually a good mirror.
Yeah.
That's why she's the arsehole. She's not horny for Rugalers.
It would present a problem, for example, if he went, I'll be 10-15 minutes, an hour passes.
An hour. To be
Then
fair
we
to
were-
her, she said 10 to 15 and then he came back 20.
20.
So the difference between
You
10 to
split
20.
hairs about-
That is
Really?
100% what is happening. You are now splitting hairs, so
Yeah.
100%.
I think 20 might be a bit like, alright, now.
But at least it
now
was
I'm
like
done.
communicated to her, I guess, is the thing.
I think this might be the first time where we're pretty split on an indecisive
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think he's the asshole. But it's just too difficult to come to a conclusion on who is. I just have a personal bias, I think, and my mind kind of goes to, I think she might be insecure, and if anything, that might make her the asshole for
Well,
splitting hairs.
objectively, we could say that, but obviously there are more things to be
Yeah.
looked at.
Yeah, even at the worst, we want to give it to her, but still splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Fair.
Is that our last Reddit story, or do you have one more for
Oh,
us?
we have 2 more.
We have 2 more, okay.
He's got a good 67 waiting in his back pocket.
Let's go.
I
I hope
have
you've got
a-
no plans.
I have a folder, to be honest. We have a couple. Beep boop bubble bubble beep boop bubble boop boop beep boop bubble beep. Ooh,
Conversion is complete. He is now a Cyberman.
I am now Parigantu.
Porygon 2.
This one's Am I the Buttface? So a little bit, it's like Am I the Arsehole, but like, I don't think this really matters. Like, it's not like a crazy life event. Am I the arsehole? Am I the butthole for cancelling a date but then going to the gym? Fellas,
Objectively, no.
is it weird? Is it fucked up to go to the gym?
What's more important, romance for 45 minutes or gains?
Gains.
Gains, bro. If you can't handle a dumbbell, How you gonna handle a dumb bit? Anyway, so
Hate you.
So I am male 23, matched with this girl on Tinder, female 21, about a week ago. We both wanted something casual for the summer. About 4 days ago, we made plans for tonight. I started feeling under the weather though, with a sore throat and nausea from last night. I told her and we agreed to play it by ear. Today rolls around, and around 2 p.m, our plans were for the evening around 7 to 8. I told her that I still wasn't feeling well, and I didn't want to risk getting her sick. She was understanding about it. By 6, I was feeling a little better, and my friend asked me to go to the gym with him. Thinking it was too late to rekindle our plans, I just decided to go with a friend without asking the girl if she still wanted to hang. I sent her a snap from my car, and she asked where I was going. I told her I was going to the gym, and she called me
your own grave, friends.
and she called me a dick and has removed me on all the apps.
Yeah.
So
Okay, all right. That.
So it's your turn.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that. No, that's very. He was going so well. Because the thing is, it's a minor thing, but there's no real relationship there yet, because it's just a very recent Tinder match.
yeah.
And the connotation of that seems so bad. Because it's like, hey, I ditched you because I lied about being sick, and then I'm well enough to go to the gym. But like, realistically, he's being completely reasonable in the actual, like what's happening. Just like in practice, you
The
shouldn't have said this.
communication of it was shockingly poor.
Oh, but it's such a. To
I'd
me,
like to see the photo if it's there.
What, of him going
It's
to
him
the gym?
flexing the quads.
Hey, what's up? It's a full dick shot.
She's looking at it like, why does it have biceps?
Is that red? Why is it like it's like
I don't go to the gym. I assume this is what a hip thrust is.
You ever seen that Alex Jones photo where he's trying to sell off his like 5-hour energy supplement, and it's like a before and after 30 days, but it's the after is just him from before, but completely red, like Hulk red.
I've not seen this, but that's hilarious.
It just looks like a before and after of someone calling him a liberal. He's just like,
So you've been drinking iodine for the last 30 days.
he's just been drinking iodine and mercury.
Poor bastard. He's just like the first like king of China. He's trying to like attain eternal life.
Poor old guy that made fun of the Sandy Hook massacre survivors. Poor old guy.
Oh, poor bastard.
I don't think that. I guess you could communicate it a bit better, but at the end of the day, it's just like, well, fucking.
I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, it's not lying. I mean, like at the worst, it potentially is lying by omission. But there's clearly not a massive open line of communication anyway. Just stay out of it. Just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like the next day, be like, hey, I'm feeling a lot better. Let's reschedule. I had a bit of a standard night, whatever. Like because it to me seems like he goes to the gym quite regularly with his friends as like a social thing anyway. You don't have to like do that. You don't have to show a
The
photo.
thing is, like, also, like, I feel like dates are it's someone new, right? I feel like some people want to be at their best to go for these sorts of things, and feel like he's like, oh, I'm not at my best, but I could absolutely look like crap. But
Yeah,
go
I
to the
don't wanna
gym
go.
with my friend. Yeah, and that's honestly like a valid reason, and her response is also valid.
Yeah. Her response is definitely valid. I would say that if this guy was a D&D class, it would be barbarian, because no way he has anything between intellect, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah, literally.
I was talking. This is one of the guys that destroys something and doesn't get how it works. He's like, I don't see what's wrong. What's going on? What a fucking ding dong. All right, last one. This is from r/relationships.
Ooh, okay.
How to move past romantic feelings for a plutonic friend.
This is
Why was it
interesting.
written as plutonic and not platonic?
I don't know, but I wanted to keep it in here because one of the messages said, "Well, I hope you get tested for gamma radiation."
I think a plutonic friend is like you think they're a friend, and then a scientist comes in and says, "Well, actually,
I'm sorry, but your friend is about 80,000 rotogens over the legal limit. She's also emitting a huge blue laser.
I don't know, man, a compressed like ball of gas." I've gone on dates like that.
Oh yeah, babe, you like when I touch your demon core? Fuck!
Why is my my vision going so funny?
Oh, babe, you're so hot, I think.
I can see it.
I've got third-degree love sickness from you, babe. What a nice way to end this episode.
Absolutely. I also have several lines to how to get to Gimmick Puppet underneath Shifter.
All right, let's get to the end here. I have a card on my phone.
We're playing this game, are we?
Yeah.
Alright.
I want you to. Let me fucking bring it up so I can show you as I pull it out.
Oh, you're showing us the card.
No. So like when I turn it around.
Okay.
Cool. Anna, because you're a guest, you can go first if you would like.
Okay. Is it a spell?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the perfect answer. Like, I wanted to just fire something straight
Is it
away.
It's
Bernard's
your
turn
credit
next to
card.
guess what it
It'd
is?
be like, is it Marauding Captain?
No.
Damn it!
What
I don't want to play anymore.
Anna, you get 2 questions now.
Alright. Is it an extra deck monster?
No.
Okay.
Is it a staple?
No.
Think about that one. Is it a monster card?
Yes.
Yes. Is it a...
Oh,
This is her second question. I
alright,
did
cool,
jump
go
in.
ahead.
Is it an effect monster?
Yes.
Okay.
Did this card used to be a staple?
No.
Is this card's attribute fire?
No.
Has this card ever featured in either the original anime, GX, or 5Ds?
It has not. No, absolutely not.
Okay. Does this card have the equals attack and defense?
I want to say yes.
It does.
Let me bring up because I just have the artwork, but now I have to bring up the actual card itself. It does.
Does have equal attack and defense? Okay.
And where was this card in 1942?
Not real yet.
Oh, well.
Damn it, that rules a few things out.
Sorry. Fuck off.
Is this card part of a... Does this card have a quick effect?
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna say, is this card? I thought you're gonna troll me hard and be like, is this card a part of the government conspiracy to overthrow Palestine?
I will ask what I thought she was going to ask, which is this card part of an archetype?
Not via name.
So it's not searchable by a card.
It just said it's not part of its name, which is an important distinction to make.
That is... okay.
Not part of its name.
It's in an archive. It's not.
Is it an
technically.
Archfiend card?
No. But I like that guess. I think a lot of those cards got routed to have Archfiend somewhere in their name.
okay.
But I like that. Because Summon Skull is still Summon Skull.
Was this card first printed past 2018?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it Frog the Gem too?
From the peanut butter.
Frog the Jam 2.
Isn't that the one that says every card frog, but not this specific Frog the Gem 2 or something?
Oh, that's a
It's
good
not
guess.
two, it's just
Yeah.
Frog the
No,
Jam.
they printed
Yeah.
the second one.
Oh, did they?
No, they didn't, but imagine.
Stop fucking with me. Frog the Jello.
It's Frog the Jello.
Frog the Jelly. Jelly frog.
Amphibian that's
Is it a ghost
refrigerated
girl?
dessert.
Sorry?
Is it a ghost girl?
As in the archetype?
Is it part of the ghost girl archetype?
No.
Is it considered a hand trap?
No.
She's doing much better than I am.
Technically,
is
the
it a
ghost-
level 3?
No, technically the Ghost Girls are a series. No, it's not level 3.
Okay.
Is this card part of a series?
No.
Damn it.
No, with like 3 asterisks.
Is it Aluba Jester of Time?
No, it's a Luba, just or Despia. No, it's neither.
Okay. It's not part of its name. Oh!
Yeah, it has Despia in its name.
Is this a card that I am known to like?
Yeah, you'll like this card.
I would like this card.
Is this Albion the Shrouded Dragon?
No,
Fuck.
All right, we'll
but
rule
good
out.
guess.
We'll rule out a big bunch of things. Is this part of the branded lore?
Yes.
Oh.
Ah.
It's an effect monster that is not named original name. Is this the Bestial Alba?
No, I think you misunderstood. It doesn't have the archetype in its name.
Oh right, okay.
So
sorry.
Bestial Luba would have Bestial in it.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's true.
Is that your question?
Well, it's yours turn now.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Is this card searchable with branded and high spirits?
Oh, fuck's sake, why'd I have to look up that card? Oh, man.
All right, let me translate. Does this card mention Fallen of Albaz?
Yes, it mentions Fallen.
So it's searchable with Brennan
You
and
could have just
High
said
Spirits.
Lost. Yeah.
You said it's a monster.
Yeah, you could search it with Lost.
It's the same line of text.
But who plays High Spirits?
You brother, play 60 card Brandon. It'll change your life.
Alright, your turn, Anna.
Is it Dogmatic Ecclesia? The Virtuous.
I'm gonna have to say no and give it to Bernsey.
Is it a white girl?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Blazing Cartesia the
Yeah.
Virtuous.
No, there's multiple white girls.
You said Dogmatic Cartesia.
I did say
That's
Dogmatic
Dogmatica Ecclesia.
I knew it was either going to be Cartesia and Incredible Ecclesia, and based on your answer, what you gave me before, it had to be Cartesia. It only took us 9 years to get there.
Please take your ibuprofen.
Let's take ibuprofen together.
She's got multiple hands.
Honestly, goals.
Ugh. Oh yeah, fuck, why'd you just have to... I just realized, why does she have so many Mickey Mouse gloves?
You've clearly not looked at Guignol's artwork.
I
She can
don't
pat
like
so
looking
many
at
dogs.
boobs.
Can you take a moment? I want to get your live reaction. Can you look at Grant Guignol's artwork, specifically focused around its neck? You're going to see some creepy shit.
Well, I'm doing that and forgetting how to spell Grant Guignol. Any recommendations of any media lately?
Media in regards to?
Book, movie, series, music, anything.
Grant Guignol, the Dusk Dragon?
That's the one. Check out its neck.
I want to give a really niche answer and say check out Rex H for his rebuild of the R32 Nissan Skyline that he bought off Facebook and has continued to build it and go through all the engine parts.
That's fun.
It's a very cool series and it's been continuing for some time, something I really enjoy.
What the fuck? That's the best answer we're ever gonna have.
She's actually got culture. I was just going to say Harry Potter.
Fuck off. I'm looking at the neck. It's my thing is I want to go music. Ashes of Awake by Lamb of God. It's definitely in my top 10 albums of all time.
Okay.
It is just the best if you want to get into death metal. It's like whoa.
As a fellow normie, I will be writing that down. Thank you.
Oh, so good. Might be a little on the heavy side. I'm looking at the neck and all I see are bones.
Look closer, friend.
Look
They
closer
are
around.
crossed their hands, clasped in prayer.
Oh my god.
Because Guignol is actually a collection of all of the previous saints that did die and were like cobbled together into a dragon. So that's the reason for the extra hands on Cartesia.
They're all praying.
How creepy is that?
I'm glad we never finished our D&D series.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to put that in.
The hands unfurl.
Just imagine what those hands can do.
Come on, man.